Hello! In this video, I'm going to be sharing some thoughts on parodies of the ontological argument. First, a recap on the argument, or one version of it. 1. A maximally great being exists in some possible world. 2. If a maximally great being exists in some possible world, then it exists in all possible worlds. This is true because a maximally great being would have all great-making properties, including metaphysical necessity. 3. Therefore, a maximally great being exists in all possible worlds. Now, the best objection to this argument seems to be ontological parodies. Simply replace the word being with some other words, like can opener. Now you've got an argument using all the same logic that proves that there's a necessarily existing can opener. That's odd. So either the theist should reject the ontological argument, or is forced to accept that there's this whole realm of metaphysically necessary thingamajigs proven by all the ontological parodies. Or do they? Let's think this through. The parody we're sticking with uses a can opener. By can opener, we just mean something that can open tin cans. Now, what would a maximally great can opener look like? Well, first, it would have unlimited power. But that could be dangerous, so it should probably have a safety system to stop me from hurting myself or accidentally opening something dangerous. Now, it should have infinite knowledge, so it could always know exactly when to use the safety system most effectively. But, to have knowledge, we should just make it a conscious agent with sentience and free will. Now that we have that, it would also be morally perfect to make the best possible decisions and use its unlimited power for the best possible ends. And carrying around that can opener all the time would get boring, so I think it should just really be an immaterial entity acting on the universe to open cans, or do anything else, when it is in line with its morally perfect nature to do so. But since it's morally perfect and all-powerful, it will probably do more than just open cans. By this point, we have a personal, morally perfect, all-powerful, all-knowing, immaterial, and necessarily existing thing, which also happens to be able to open tin cans. Now, I'm about to reach a conclusion, but to avoid being blasphemous, I want to point out how literal of a definition of a can opener we used. Something that can open tin cans. By this definition, I'm a can opener. Shotguns are can openers. Nuclear warheads are can openers. Tectonic plates, if you give them long enough, are can openers. Anyways, with that out of the way, I want to point out that the thing that this argument proves exists is identical with God. All the properties of God and this thing are the same. All this argument showed is that God can open tin cans. I don't think that many theists dispute that. Okay, time out. I want to make completely 100% crystal clear. I am not comparing God, the Lord of the universe, the creator of the heavens and the earth, to a kitchen tool. What I'm trying to show is that these ontological parodies are kind of silly, but when analyzed logically, they collapse. And to make this demonstration, I've used a definition of the word can opener to refer very broadly to anything with the causal capacity to open tin cans. This is a way broader definition than what we use in normal conversation. If you don't like that and want a more specific ontological parody talking about the kitchen tools themselves, don't worry, the arguments in the rest of this video will address such parodies. So what we've shown is that this parody of the ontological argument, and many other parodies like it if you think about it, would just reduce to the plain old vanilla ontological argument. But does this work for all ontological parodies? No. Let's use a parody that argues for the existence of a maximally great snowman. A snowman is a thing made of snow and shaped like a man. A maximally great snowman would not be identical to God because it would not be immaterial. It has a shape and is made of snow matter. But surely now you can see that the last part of its description seems really arbitrary. Like it was just kind of tacked on at the end. And that's going to be a weakness of any ontological parody. It will either reduce to proving the existence of God normally with no problems whatsoever, or it will argue for the existence of something almost exactly like God with a few properties randomly added on. This means that any ontological parody that's not already identical to the original ontological argument is trying really hard to prove that God exists, but we've added a bunch of arbitrariness to try to stop it for some reason. So, when we're considering the first premises of ontological parodies, when we're considering whether there are possible worlds with maximally great snowmen, we should be skeptical that such possible worlds exist because arbitrariness doesn't mix very well with necessity nor maximal greatness. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.